everybody, so today is a very basic kettlebell workout. So if you are a beginner and you're looking for a workout to do at home that's a little bit weight based, then if you've got a kettlebell, then this is perfect for you. Today's video was filmed slightly differently. To get the use of the space at the gym, I decided to take the video in the gym and then just kind of talk on top of the video. So it's slightly different to some of my other videos where I actually talk through them. I'm just going to be talking over them and giving you pointers and teaching points and things like that as you go. Make sure you're starting with a weight that's appropriate for yourself. You can get kettlebells really easy nowadays in lots of shops, so definitely if you want to give it a little try and you're looking to work out at home, this is really short. It's like a 15-minute workout. Make sure you complete the warm-up video before you start it. Enjoy it, have fun. If you like it, then make sure you send me a little comment below this video, and if you don't mind, if you could also subscribe to my channel, that way you will not miss any of the new workouts that are up, and you can get the brand new workouts as soon as they're uploaded. Enjoy! Okay, we're going to begin with one squat, one walk out into plank position. So we'll keep this going as many times as we can. So I'm looking for you to take that squat, keep your heels flat on the floor, chest nice and high, squat as low as possible, then walk out into the plank position, walk back in, standing up and repeat. Do this as many times as possible. When you walk out into the plank position, keep those hips nice and still, making sure you don't drop those hips towards the floor and protect your back. All the way till the end of the exercise, keep it going. That's it, walk all the way in and back out as many times as possible with that squat in between. This can also be done without the kettlebell. Keep going and relax. Okay, so we're going to continue with the next exercise, which is a single arm row. So you're going to take one leg to the back and one leg forward, back leg straight, front leg bent, lean forwards over your standing leg for support. Then you're going to roll the kettlebell up past your waist, keeping your elbow in nice and tight to your body. So while we're doing this exercise, we're looking to keep from our back, our hips, and everything in a nice straight line. So from the back of your head all the way down to your heel in a diagonal line. We want to make sure that we're making as little movement as possible with the body apart from the arm, driving the elbow nice and high, squeezing it in towards our waist. Try to avoid putting that kettlebell on the floor in between those reps as well. Try and keep the tension in the back as we squeeze. Now we're going to have to repeat this exercise on both sides. So we're coming towards the end of this exercise. We're going to take a little rest. We're going to swap over to the opposite side. So we have now moved on to the opposite side with the kettlebell, opposite leg, same position. So the opposite leg is now stretched behind. We're taking a rest on top of the front leg, and we continue again with the rows on the other arm. So same thing applies on this side as the opposite side. We're looking to keep the tension, so don't let the kettlebell touch the floor. Keep everything nice and flat so you can really see that back is working. Continue to row as many times as possible, but make sure you do get that squeeze as you pull that elbow up and in towards your back. Keep this going. We want to make sure we get as many repetitions in as possible towards the end of this exercise. So don't give up, keep on working. And take your rest. Well done. Our next exercise is going to be reverse lunges. Now this exercise can be done without any kettlebells. It can be done with one kettlebell as demonstrated here, or it can also be done with two kettlebells. So you can take one kettlebell into each hand if you wish. We're taking a step back on the leg and taking a double bounce while we drive that knee down towards the floor. You want to maintain a 90-degree angle on both legs. So we're looking to get that back knee down at 90 degrees and also the front leg. Keep your head and chest nice and high as you take these steps back. You might find, as you can see here, it starts to work your core because it challenges your balance as well with that little bounce in there. Take your time. Don't worry about keeping up with the speed in the video. Just go at your own pace, but make sure you are working as hard as you can. And take your rest. Well done. Feel free to grab a little drink in between any of these exercises, or feel free to pause this video at any time
if you need a little rest. Okay, we're going to be moving into our next exercise now. And this is going to be a combination of 3 exercises. So we've got a bicep curl, shoulder press into a tricep press. So there's quite a lot to think about when we're doing this combination. We want to keep those elbows in nice and tight to our waist as we perform the bicep curl. As you press the kettlebell up above your head, keep that core braced as you take it back into that tricep press. So we're trying to have as little movement through the body as possible, trying to keep everything nice and straight, nice and tight as we perform this 3 exercise combination for the upper body. Biceps, shoulders, triceps. Keep that working, keep the tension in the upper body, doing as many as we can. Make sure when you take that kettlebell behind the head, it comes all the way back, and rest. Well done. Now on the next exercise, make sure you have plenty of space and you can use a mat if necessary. We're going to be taking it down onto the floor. You're going to take yourself flat onto your back, bend your knees with your feet flat on the floor, pressing the hips and the kettlebell towards the ceiling, working the chest and the glutes. So we're using the kettlebell to press and work those arms, but we're also squeezing through our bottom, working those glutes as we lift those hips towards the ceiling. Make sure you keep your toes on the floor, pressing into the heels as we do this movement, and keep the knees in line with the hips, making sure that we don't have the feet too wide. Continue to use these 2 exercises together at the same time. Keep pressing up as many times as possible and keep that bottom just a few inches off the floor. Keep it going now all the way to the end of the exercise. Keep squeezing and take your rest. Well done. The final exercise in today's sequence before we repeat all of this again is the plank position. So we're going to come forwards, placing our elbows on the floor, feet far away from those hands, pushing forwards on your toes and keep your head in line with your hands. Pull that belly button up and in to protect that lower back. This position can also be done on your knees, so you just take the knees down to the ground for a little bit of a modification if you're finding it too difficult. If you can, continue to hold with those knees off the floor, making sure that we are feeling this in the core and not in the legs. So make sure we pull up and in through that core, and you can also have a softness at the knees to make sure those legs are not activating instead of that core. Stay strong, continue to hold all the way to the end of this exercise and take your rest. Okay, make sure you grab yourself a little drink, prepare your space again as we take a little rest, and then we're going to repeat all of these exercises again. We're going to begin with the squat and the walk out into the plank position. So prepare yourself, get ready to start. Here we go. Squat down, place the kettlebell to the floor like we did earlier, walk back in and stand back up. Now because this is our second time going through these exercises, you should be feeling slightly more confident and possibly able to push yourself a little bit faster. So don't worry if you can't keep up with the speed in the video, or if you can go even faster than me in the video, then please feel free to do so. I want you to work as hard as you can. Make sure before you pick that kettlebell up when you walk back in, that you lift that chin and that head, bend those knees, keep the feet flat, and then lift the weight. Keep this going as many as we can, remember. Last few now. And take a little rest. Then from here we're moving again into that single arm row. So prepare your kettlebell, step back with one foot, bend the front and standing leg, taking the weight onto that leg, keep the back nice and flat, shoulders and kettlebell ready. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Lift that elbow, squeeze it in nice and tight. Make sure that kettlebell does not touch the ground in between these repetitions. You want to make sure that we keep working through this whole interval. And as we perform this exercise, please make sure that you do keep that lean forwards, but keep the support in that standing leg. So just use that elbow just to help you with a little bit of support, so that we make sure that we are working our back instead of being a little bit more upright where we would be working the shoulders. Right to the end on this side, and then we're going to swap across to the other hand. Final few seconds and change. Well done. Swap over to the other leg, other arm, so stepping back Make sure your foot is pointed away from you as far as you can and your back heel is lifted off the floor, and then when you're ready, let's go. Again, the same teaching points apply on this side. We're looking to keep that back lovely and flat with as little movement as possible, only the movement coming from the elbow. Drive it back, squeeze it in. If you wish, you could possibly count how many repetitions you've managed on each side, just to create a little bit more balance through both sides of the body, but this isn't necessary. But if you do feel that you want to do that, then you can always do that the next time you complete this workout and mark down your score. Keep pulling right to the very end and take your rest. Again, I'm just going to grab a little drink, so feel free to grab one if you need it. And we're going to take ourselves into those backwards lunges, so make sure you do have enough space to perform this exercise. Taking a big step behind, we're going to start with that little pulse. 1, 2, and step. Now, the second time that you repeat this exercise, you might find that you're a little bit more unstable just because your legs are getting a little bit tired. So if this is the case, make sure you use that core to keep you nice and straight. And if you hit a few wobbles, just work a little bit harder not to lose your balance. And just a quick reminder that this exercise can be modified. So if you do feel that the little bounce is too much and you can't keep your balance, then just step back and step straight back through. Just remove the bounce in between. Last few now, those legs are starting to burn, and rest. So hopefully you're starting to get a little bit sweaty and that heart rate is really high now. And if it's not, then I think you need to push yourself just a little bit harder. Okay, we're moving into that bicep curl, shoulder press and tricep press combination. So all three working together, making sure that we try to avoid any swing as we lower that kettlebell down into that bicep curl. Keep your elbows in nice and tight to your body, focusing and using that mind and muscle connection to make sure we are using those biceps to curl up, shoulders to press and triceps to repress again. Keeping this going, those arms might be feeling a little bit tired now, but we want to get in as many as we can. Again, if you are marking down how many that you've managed, make sure you count. Oh, I made a little mistake there. Apologies. Keep going. I missed out the tricep press. And rest. Grab that mat if you need it. If you don't need it, then just make your way onto the floor as we're going to be going into that chest press with those glutes as well. So take yourself back onto your mat or your floor, feet flat on the ground, and begin. Chest press with the kettlebell, and then lifting up through that bottom, pressing those hips to the ceiling and squeezing through those glutes. This exercise can also be modified, so if you do not wish to use the kettlebell, then you can just place the kettlebell on the floor next to you, place your hands down by your sides and just continue with just the lower body moving. It is very important here that you do keep those heels on the floor and track those hips, knees and ankles, so keep them all in a nice straight line. And just like the first round, you really want to try and avoid that bottom touching the floor at any point throughout the exercise until it's finished. Okay, we're going to take ourselves round onto our front for that final exercise, which is the plank position. So make sure you have enough space, make sure you're ready because this is your last exercise of your workout and you want to work as hard as you can for this finisher. So keep those hips slightly lifted so we've got that nice flat back. Head in line with those hands again and push forward in those toes. Remember that modification from the first round is dropping those knees. Keep holding everybody, you're almost there, almost finished the workout, and rest. Well done.